This is Saturday Morning Mysteries.
And we're your hosts, Alexis and Grace.
Hello, good morning, and welcome back to another episode of Saturday Morning Mysteries, where we are your hosts. I'm Grace.
And I'm Alexis.
And we are continuing our fall/Thanksgiving/fall arc.
Nebulously autumnal.
Yes, autumnal vibes, which, as a reminder, we are in our holiday arc, which means for the last 3 months of the year, we can do any episode that has to do with that month's holiday or theme. Last month was October, and thus it was Halloween. December is going to be winter, holiday, Christmas. Fall, if it has to do with Thanksgiving, great. There's about 4 episodes
in history
cartoons that relate to that. So instead,
and we've already covered them.
Yeah, we've covered all of them. And so now it's just anything that has to do with fall. Is there a leaf that's changed a color? Is there a chill breeze somewhere?
A pumpkin or something maybe in the background. Gourd. That's not a jack-o'-lantern. Yeah, a gourd. Yeah,
a tasteful
Anything
gourd.
In the gourd family. Yes.
A tasteful and tasty gourd.
A scarecrow even, perhaps? I don't know. A harvest, a hunt.
Oh, a harvest, a hunt. That was last time.
See?
Being hunted.
So we had to expand our minds
it's almost
here.
Creative.
What does fall? What does autumn mean? What is November, if not for the autumn vibes?
Exactly. So we get real creative with it. And as usual, I have no idea, Alexis, what you're about to tell me, what your tie into the theme is, even what show you're doing. So take it away.
Okay, I will. Well, it's not going to be a Thanksgiving episode, but it is definitely fall themed here today. Did not have to reach hard. And I won't even bury the lead today because I want you to be excited from the jump about what we're talking about. It is an episode of our absolutely favorite show ever, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You?
Okay.
Season 1, episode 5, Decoy for a Dognapper.
Okay.
So you can already guess.
Okay. I sense the theme.
But before we get to the dog napping part of it all and why that has to do with autumn, and I guess actually, yes, with Thanksgiving, even though it doesn't mention the holiday by name, we'll first start.
Happens on Thanksgiving.
Exactly. But also I learned too that there's a dog show in December as well at the Westminster or the American Kennel Club. One of them. It doesn't matter. Okay. But Thanksgiving is like the national dog show. That's
day to
exactly. That's the one.
Yes.
But before we get there, there's more fall in the air, literally, because the episode begins on a very crisp fall day. We see leaves that are on the trees that are orange and yellow and like a light brown. We see piles of leaves everywhere. It is just absolutely fall. There's a nice breeze going through. So today, though, our favorite gang, Mystery Inc., they are out of the house and they are enjoying doing another great fall activity, a nice bonfire on the beach. So we see
it feels
all
crisp.
The fall vibes.
I have my blanket. I'm there.
You're there. You feel it. You're by the fire, so you're warm, even though there's a nice beach breeze hitting you in the face. It's perfect.
Magical.
So Shaggy and Velma are sitting by the fire, I think like cooking some food or something naturally. And Fred and Daphne are nearby dancing to some music that they're playing on their radio.
Cute.
But the music is interrupted by an emergency broadcast announcing a horrible crime. A prize-winning show dog has just been dog-napped for ransom. But what's worse is that this is now the 3rd prize-winning show dog in town to be dog-napped in just as many days. 3 dogs in 3 days. So... Yes.
That's crazy that's like a breaking news.
I also like this. Really? You guys have a radio broadcast saying
this? You're interrupting it. I mean, I love dogs. I get it.
These are rich people who are getting their dogs stolen. It's probably the people who like fund the radio station.
Yeah,
exactly.
You're right. I take it back.
Better put this announcement on
now.
So, the radio announcer says that the owner of the first prize dog that was stolen, the owner's name is Buck Masters, he is now offering a $500 reward to anyone who can resolve this and find the dogs, which also is probably why they're saying it on the radio, because he's now offering a reward.
Yes.
And at this point, Freddie turns off the radio and says, "Well, gang, we've just found our next mystery.
They're like, we're actually here at this
$500?
campfire because we ran out of gas. We can't get home. We gotta get
We
this
were gonna
500
camp
bucks.
out here until we figured out how to get gas
Daphne's fighting
tomorrow."
with her family. She will not call her dad for gas money again.
They just like scraped whatever extra food they could out of the back of the mystery machine, and that's
Yeah.
not what Shaggy and Velma are cooking. It's like half
Expired
of a hot
canned beans.
dog. Yeah. Like tuna,
Spam.
sardines. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny too, because Scooby was actually like walking around somewhere else before we see all of them on the beach. And then he
Uh-huh.
runs back when he hears like the radio broadcast. So, like, in reality, Scooby was out searching for food or for like a person to beg
He's
or
gonna beg.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They need that
Yeah.
money.
This is what's really happening. $500? Oh, hell yeah. Gang, we've
And
got a
in
job.
1969,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
like
that's a good point too. I should have done
$8
the
million
conversion.
today.
Give or take a few bucks. Yeah. And speaking of Buck, they do go straight to the man himself, Buck Masters. That is
Oh, wow,
where
great
they
transition.
start this job. Exactly. So they go to his office, and this guy, I want to say he's wearing a bolo tie. It's a white guy, but I'm pretty sure he's wearing a bolo tie.
Okay.
He's got like handlebar mustache, kind of like thick dark hair. He's
Okay.
got like a long horn on the wall behind him. Very
Okay.
like kind of
Where
gruff, but
where
like
do they
wealthy
live?
Texas man. I don't know. This
At a
this
beach,
episode
also
definitely gives
oil
like
baron.
somewhere between yeah, it's like Oklahoma, New
Yeah.
Mexico, Nebraska. I don't know. Maybe actually more clues on that in a minute, later in the
Okay.
episode, but in that general area. So Buck Masters tells the gang that rather than paying the ransom that was being asked for after his dog was stolen, he said he'd rather pay someone to bring his dog back and catch the crooks.
Okay.
So that's why he decided to put this reward out. He then tells the gang that his dog was sure to win the upcoming county dog show, and that now it would appear that a Great Dane owned by a man and his competitor, a Great
Interesting.
Dane, Bob
Uh-oh.
Miller, is the shoe-in to win that competition since he's been grooming and prepping his dog for this contest all year. So Buck tells the gang that he has called ahead to Bob and warned him about the danger that his Great Dane could be in. And Bob was like, yeah, no, we're good. I only am taking him out for, quick walks at night, only along
Mm,
Beach Boulevard, right by the police station. So very safe. Like,
okay.
thank you for your concern, but I'm probably fine. But Buck still warns the kids that even though Bob feels safe, all dog owners need to really be on their guard because, I mean, obviously he
Okay.
sees a dog in their presence.
A Great Dane,
Which,
no
I mean, at
less.
this point, I'm like, hey, these are all show dogs, though, that we're talking about. No
Yeah.
offense to Scooby, but like,
No one's taking Scooby.
no, no one's taking him. And also
No
because he
one's,
can talk. It would just scare the shit out of whoever,
yeah, and also
whoever took
like
him.
dog napping. I mean, a Great Dane. I'm imagining that Buck's dog was like a little Pyrenees or so. No, not
I
Great
don't know.
Pyrenees. They're
Its
also
name
huge,
is
but
Big
like,
Red, but
oh,
we
you know
learn
what?
later. But like,
Who am I to
hey,
say?
hey, yeah, because dog napping a Great Dane. You're right. That was my first thought too. Like, that doesn't sound like a good idea.
This is
Like,
so hard.
exactly. Like, good luck getting them off the couch, first of
Right,
all.
exactly. They're
And
so
second
fucking
of all, good luck
lazy.
like hauling them down the sidewalk to your
Yeah,
creepy Steeler
subtly.
van. You're
Yeah,
yeah, right. Like,
someone's
yeah,
gonna notice.
exactly. So the kids, they heed or I mean, they listen to Buck and his warning. They're like, all right, thanks. Yeah, we appreciate that. But
Thanks, but no thanks.
thanks, but no thanks. Like, we're good. Scooby, we're not worried about Scooby.
Yeah, have you seen him?
And
No one's gonna take him.
no one's taking that dog. He's like messing around in the office as they say this
Of
too, like
course.
being goofy. Yeah. So Vilma and Fred assure Buck that they are going to get to the bottom of this. And Buck Masters is just like, okay, I mean, like, I don't have any leads though, so I really don't know what you're going to do or how you're going to do that, but okay, if you say so. But at this point, we learn that the gang does actually have a decent plan.
Okay.
Since, as we've both noticed, Scooby is also obviously a Great Dane, they decide to just clean him up and like put a brand new blinged out collar on him. They affix a little tracking device onto it, which
Okay.
for a cartoon that came out in
Smart.
1969, I was like, that's pretty smart. Good,
Yeah.
okay. Daphne's parents definitely are funding this operation.
Yeah, she did call them for this one.
She did, which I just got to say it right now too, because it doesn't really come up anywhere else in the script or in the
Uh,
episode. But like the back of the mystery machine in this episode, it's decked the fuck out. Like they have
really?
monitors everywhere, like
It
radar
is.
to like tracking
It
detectors and
is
like
funny like
all these
that they
cool
go back and
gadgets.
forth between that sometimes. Like
Yeah.
sometimes they're like, yeah, I think I remember in like, yeah, the original, yeah, like where are you? There's like at some point Freddy's getting out like ropes, ladders, like
Hmm.
so much shit.
Tools and shit.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's really funny just in the show that they do go back and forth between like completely empty
Yeah, just
CIA.
nothing to
Like
see, literally CIA. Yeah, there's like a meeting table in the middle. Like you see them all sitting around it with like lights beeping on like the
schematics.
computer monitors behind them and like a little radar thing going in
So
the
funny.
background. It's like, damn, Daphne is on a good note with her parents right now. They're like,
Yeah.
sure, honey, we'll redo your little van however you
Your
want.
little project with your little
Exactly.
friends.
Yeah, we're so glad you have friends and that
Yeah.
yeah, they dress nicely and they look somewhat well off.
They
You're
all
not
look at Shaggy and
embarrassing us.
Scooby
Yeah, they're like, well,
for
hmm.
the most part.
For the most part. So, yes, they decide to just put a brand new collar on Scooby that has this tracking device in it.
Okay.
And then they tell Shaggy to walk Scooby along Beach Boulevard until someone just tries to snatch Scooby. And then they're going to track him.
Insane plan.
I know. Yeah. And I mean, Shaggy and Scooby are obviously not happy about this, but Fred is like,
Yeah.
nah, come on, man, it'll be fine. Like, we'll
Classic.
be tracking him. It's
Good
cool. We're
tracker.
good.
They won't take
They're,
off his collar, surely. It'll be fine.
no, surely they wouldn't. Why would they do that? So that night, Shaggy and Scooby, of course, they go down to Beach Boulevard and they're strolling around the block over and over, just basically waiting for anything suspicious to happen or waiting for
Hello, look at
Scooby
my
to get
beautiful dog.
look at
Oh,
you.
I'm holding onto the
Yes.
leash so lightly. It
So
could just
daintily.
fall out of my hand at any point.
I'm so tired. I just can't even walk anymore. I couldn't hardly run if someone came and stole something from
Well, you
me.
know who could run? This beautiful specimen of a dog. A winner for sure.
A winner, full bred. So eventually, yes, they do run into some suspicious activity. While they're walking down the sidewalk, they come up upon a very sketchy, like black van just parked along the road, not too far ahead of
Uh,
them. And the van starts up as they start getting close to it, and it starts letting out all of these exhaust fumes and like smoke, and
mm,
everything is billowing directly now into like Shaggy's face. So he's covering his eyes and trying to, fan it all away, and he's
mm.
coughing. But once he is able to kind of clear the air in front of him, he notices that Scooby's leash has been cut and that Scooby is now in the
Oh,
van right
okay.
as it pulls away from the road, speeding off.
Okay.
Shaggy, like the best dog owner ever, literally steals some guy's motorcycle from right in front of him, or like a motor scooter. He like runs up to this guy like, "Hey, do you have any way for me to like follow that van that just
Carjacks
went?"
him.
And he's like, "Well, I no, I just have my motor scooter." And then the next thing we see is Shaggy just like driving off on it while the dude's looking at him like, "What the hell?" He steals it from right in front of him.
Damn, Shaggy.
That's a good dog
Vigilante.
owner though, if you ask
Yep.
me. Hey,
Relatable.
he just
Shaggy
thanked the guy
would
too. He's like, "Thanks,
Shaggy
dude."
in a different universe would go John Wick for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
This episode is kind of proof of that, kind of like
Yeah. It's
these
like the
are the
kids
early
version of
stages.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So meanwhile, Velma, Daphne, and Freddie, they're like looking at this tracking monitor in the van, and they notice that Scooby's dog collar is moving much faster than it was before, and they realize that now he's probably been kidnapped, dog-napped, whatever,
Mhm.
and that they need to follow the signal. So the Dognapper's van at this point has like totally left the city. And they're now
Great.
coming back to you asking, where the hell
Where are
are
they?
they? They're driving through like a desert prairie at this point.
Okay,
Like you
so
kind of
maybe
see far off
Oklahoma.
mountains, and it's like,
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it's cactuses, but it's very barren, but there are some trees kind of still, and it's
Yeah.
very rocky. And of course, the van is able to drive through this kind of easily because it's a
Okay.
van on four wheels. But Shaggy, who's on
Oh,
a
I
little motor
forgot.
scooter
Little
behind him,
Vespa.
he's like bumping around, tailing behind this van, but he's still
Oh
very laser
no.
focused, trying to catch his
Okay.
dog. But he loses focus for a bit when he hears from behind him the chanting, the war chanting almost of an American Indian or Native
Oh
American
no.
phantom
What? Hold on.
on a horse,
Hold on.
thus making this even more of a Thanksgiving episode. Yes,
All right. Well, okay,
we'll
I'm
get
so
there in
confused.
a
I thought we
second.
were just gonna have a dog napping.
So did I. At first, I was like, oh, cool, dog show, perfect for Thanksgiving. And then this happened, and I was like, well,
Okay.
okay,
Here we go.
here we go.
I'm
So,
nervous because it's probably in like
exactly.
1970 that this came out.
You should be. We'll get to
Okay.
all those
Okay.
disclaimers and just yeah,
Okay.
just one
Noted.
moment, and that will be our tangent of the day too, our
Okay.
brief tangent. So Shaggy stiffens up when he hears this, and he quickly looks behind him, and he does indeed see what he calls Geronimo's ghost, or the ghost of Geronimo.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
1969, everybody.
Okay.
1969,
I'm
United States. Just
surprised.
bear
Yep.
with us for a second.
Hmm.
This ghost is on horseback, waving a tomahawk, chasing after him. Again,
Okay.
1969.
It's exactly what I think it is. Okay.
Yes, it is indeed. So, both from the shock of seeing this ghost and the fact that he's not looking at the road in front of him and it's already not a safe road for him to be driving on, he veers off a bit and he runs into a log and flies off of the scooter. But he's able to like crawl behind some shrubbery or a bush and hide as he watches this ghost just ride off down the road.
Also, that
Obviously,
guy's never getting his stolen scooter back, right? Like,
no, at this point, no, it's totaled. His, I think the
like
dude's name was Charlie or something. Like,
Charlie's gonna see
sorry,
Shaggy
Charlie.
in town and be like,
Sorry, Charlie.
"You gonna return
Re-
it?
return
What?
what?
Where is it?" Yeah, Shaggy be like, "What? Do I
What
know
are you
you?"
talking? Oh, what are you talking about, bro? My scooter, my motor scooter that you stole last night.
I don't know how to drive a scooter. Why would I steal
That wasn't.
that?
I don't think that was me. I don't
You mixed me
know.
up with someone else, man.
Yeah, I think
Sorry.
you're mixing me up with the guy named Bob Miller. He owns the guy with the
Yeah.
Great Dane.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
probably
no, he's off on
that
Beach
Great Dane guy.
Boulevard. Yeah, go find
Yeah,
him.
in the
Sorry.
police station. Go
Yeah.
check him out. Sorry,
So
Charlie.
obviously, though, in all of this mess, and yes, with the totaling of this of Charlie's motor scooter, the sketchy van was able to get away and does still have
First,
Scooby.
okay,
So yeah, let's pause now from
okay.
Scooby-Doo and let's talk about this total surprise thing that just popped up out of nowhere in this
Yeah.
episode, if you ask me, but is actually a key part of what we're going to see for the rest of the episode.
Okay.
The Ghost of Geronimo. Again, 1969, everybody. The show is a product of the time it was made. So
Mhm.
when you watch this episode, just,
It's gonna be offensive.
it's yeah, you probably won't love it. Sorry. But I thought that this would actually be a good chance to talk about the real life Geronimo.
Oh, awesome. Cool.
Yes. So who I knew little about, like obviously we've all heard the name before because it's been
Yeah.
co-opted and used by like paratroopers in the military and so many other ways. But Geronimo was an actual man. He was an Apache military leader and medicine man. He was born in 1829 in the modern day state of New Mexico, which is why
Okay.
earlier I was like, maybe they're in New Mexico or something.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know. Which I mean, I guess could kind of make sense, but they don't. I think New Mexico is very famous for not having beaches. So,
Yeah, or like
not
what? I
totally
mean,
sure where.
any type of waterfront. There's
I don't know.
famously the Southwest. There's not a lot of water
Maybe they're
there.
not New Mexico. Who knows? Maybe it's
Who's to say?
Texas. Maybe it's California. Maybe it's Maybelline. So Geronimo's raids and related combat actions were a part of the prolonged period of the Apache United States conflict, which started with the Americans continuing to take land, including Apache lands, following the end of the war with Mexico in 1848.
Okay.
So after this incursion onto Apache land by Americans, reservation life was confining to a lot of the free moving Apache people, and they resented further restrictions on their customary way of life.
This makes
So
sense.
Geronimo became kind of famous or infamous, depending on who you ask, if you're an American soldier, perhaps, because he led breakouts from these reservations and attempts to return his people to the previous nomadic lifestyle.
Cool.
He, over the time, he joined with members of various other Apache bands because there are like different within native tribes, there are like smaller sects
Yeah,
kind
like
of
different bands.
different exactly bands. So he worked with a lot of other ones. He was like, nah,
Cool.
we're all in this together. So I think he worked with
Yeah.
like three other ones. I wanted to put their names in here, but I didn't want to butcher how they're pronounced. And just for the sake of time here too, I
Yeah.
was like, I'm trying my best though. So he worked with like three
Yeah.
other bands to carry
Cool.
out a bunch of raids throughout this area, throughout like northern Mexico, New Mexico, areas of Texas, and as well as to fight against Mexican and US military campaigns in northern Mexico,
Hmm.
particularly in like Chihuahua and Sonora.
Okay.
Um, while he was well known, he was not a chief. Instead, he
Okay.
was more of a shaman or like a medicine
Mm.
man, as I said before, which makes it all the more impressive that he was still trusted and given the responsibility to lead large parties of Apache warriors into battle and like in raids because he was so good at it. So even though he wasn't a chief, people from different tribes would still gather together and all fight
Yeah, and
behind
like look
him.
to him. Yeah.
Yeah. And then in 1886, after what I think was his third reservation breakout, he found himself in pursuit by American forces in northern Mexico. So at this point, they finally cornered him and he surrendered for what would be the last time. And he was held, I think, somewhere in San Antonio for like 6 weeks before being sent to Fort Pickens in Pensacola, Florida. So they just picked
Oh,
him up and totally moved him.
damn.
I guess Texas to Florida is not as far as like my mind wants to say it.
I'm
That's
thinking,
still it's
I
still
mean,
fucking
in the
far.
1800s?
Exactly, but back then it is far. But I was going to say
Feels even
across the
further.
country at first, but like I mean, it might as well be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So while they were holding him as a prisoner, the United States ended up capitalizing on Geronimo's fame among non-Indians, so among like white Americans and others, by displaying
Uh-huh.
him at various fairs and exhibitions because
Oh,
obviously he was well known for his bravery and his courage of leading so many raids and for the size of the raids that he led. Yes. So they were like, hey, we can make some money off of this guy and he can become a spectacle for Americans.
great.
And in 1889, or excuse me, in 1898, yeah, in 1898, Geronimo was exhibited, for example, at the Trans-Mississippi Exposition in Omaha, Nebraska. And in 1905, the Indian Office provided him for use in a parade
Oh,
at the
I hate
second
that.
inauguration of President Theodore Roosevelt.
Big
Yeah.
eggs.
So several years later, or I guess a few years later, I think he was definitely still prisoner. I'm not sure where he was returning from, probably maybe from one of these events or one of these tours or something, but he was riding back home on his horse in February of 1909. And as he was riding, he was thrown off of the horse actually and was injured, but he was all alone and he laid cold in the night, possibly for a few hours, for many hours, maybe even for a couple of days until a
Uh-huh.
friend found him extremely ill. Um, he would eventually die from pneumonia on February
Oh,
17th of the same year, still as a prisoner of the United
damn. I thought
States
you were
at
gonna
Fort
say that he
Sill.
escaped at that. I thought that's where you were gonna go with
No,
that.
no.
Damn.
And sadly, it gets a little worse. Like
It's
yeah,
already pretty bad.
it's already bad, but no, his story gets worse. On his deathbed, he confessed to his nephew that he regretted his decision to surrender to the United States. His
Mm,
last words were reported to be, I should have never surrendered. I should have fought until I was the last man alive. And after that, he was buried again at Fort Sill
damn.
in the Beef Creek Apache Cemetery. So, one last little, or a couple last little interesting things about
Uh-huh.
the enduring history of Geronimo. We all, like I said, have heard his name used before, just like the
Yeah.
phrase like Geronimo,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
became popularized among military paratroopers. It was something that they would shout as they were like jumping
Oh,
out of
I
planes
haven't
or
realized
whatever.
any of these origins, by the way, like of that
Really?
phrase. Like none of,
Yeah,
I
I
didn't know
didn't
any of
either.
this.
I guess I think I knew of Probably later than I would like to admit in life, I realized that that was the name of a very famous American Indian, but I like
Yeah.
still didn't really know. I was like, he must have been a military or like not a military, a warrior of some sort, because
Yeah.
it to me always had like a war connotation or
Right.
like
Yeah.
a
Right. If like a
military
paratroopers
connotation.
are yelling it. Yeah.
Right, but I never knew like who he was.
Yeah.
And even certain missions that the United States military has carried out have used his name as a code name. Most famously of all, the raid
Damn.
on Osama bin Laden when they killed
Oh.
him was initially called, I think, like Operation Geronimo, but then there was a lot of pushback against that. So
Oh
they changed
shit.
it to like Operation Neptune something. Neptune's Trident or Neptune something like that afterwards.
Damn.
They were like, no, 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 it was never,
Man,
we didn't call it
every
Geronimo. It was
single time
every
that it's
time.
been used, Geronimo rolls over in his grave. Every time the United States is like, let's name our mission of this, he's like, no, not again.
Well,
Oh no.
mm, oh no, indeed, Grace, because here's an even more interesting tale.
Okay.
It has been alleged that his skull, Geronimo's skull,
Oh
after he
no.
died, was stolen
Okay.
by a group of young army volunteers at Fort Sill during World War One.
Okay.
These young volunteers just so happened to all be members of the Yale University secret society, the Skull
No.
and Bones,
God damn it.
including none other than Prescott Bush, the American
What?
banker, senator from Connecticut, father of George H.W. Bush, who was president, vice president,
Oh.
CIA director, UN
Uh-huh.
ambassador, congressman, and of course, the grandfather of
Grandfather.
George Bush, also president, governor of Texas,
Wow.
and Yale party boy, infamously.
Yale party boy.
Probably most famously Yale
Yeah,
party
it's
boy.
famously.
In
Wow.
1986, a former San Carlos Apache chairman by the name of Ned Anderson received an anonymous letter with a photograph and a copy of a logbook claiming that Skull and Bones held the skull of Geronimo. So he went and he met with Skull and Bones
Holy
representatives
shit.
about this rumor. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The group's attorney, Endicott P. Davidson, denied that the group held the skull and said that the 1918 ledger saying otherwise was a hoax. So, like, no, 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 this is all just some
Of
hoax.
course they would
And
deny it. Just give
listen,
it back.
there's been
Calm
a lot of
yourself
back and
down.
forth. There's some have said that let's just say that there's been some back and forth
Uh-huh.
regarding speculation on whether these claims are true.
Okay.
And all of this back and forth, seemingly, at least according to Wikipedia, ended in 2010 when a court dismissed a case filed against several members of the Skull and Bones, one of which also was like Robert Gates, who I think was like the director of national intelligence or something like that. I
Damn. Of
think under
course.
George
They
Bush,
were,
of course,
yeah, they went
whatever,
to Yale and
just
were Skull and
saying.
Bones. Of course they ran the
Yeah,
government.
no,
Okay.
no big deal, whatever. But yes, this court case was asking for the return of Geronimo's bones. Eventually, the
Mm.
court would go on to dismiss the case, deciding that the law that they brought this case under, which was the Native American Graves Protection and
Yeah, yeah.
Repatriation Act, that law only applies to events that occurred after 1990. I'm guessing the year that it went into effect.
Of
Yeah.
course.
So the court did not actually rule on any of the claims concerning the Skull and
Mm.
Bones having the skull, I think, because they said that the act didn't apply to private
Yeah.
organizations, which they were. So, a lot of people claim that they don't have it. They never had it. Some claim, I think at Fort Sill, that like there's no evidence that any of the bones were
Mm.
exhumed from his grave. But it's so strange that that letter was sent. Like, and
Yes. That's
even
so
if it was sent as a
specific.
joke, that's super fucked up. Also, by the way, like,
Let's go steal
hey,
it back.
Apache people, like we're joking, like we don't actually have this, but like, hey, let's just go send them a
Let's
letter
just
saying
go
that we have the
ruin your
skull of
year.
one of their greatest like historical wartime leaders,
Yeah.
and of whom some of them might be descendants of. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, let's just say like, hey, we have a skull. Oh, just kidding. No, we don't. Like,
Oh,
even if
so
it was a joke,
funny.
it's like so fucked up.
Yeah,
But
you
if
went
it's
so out of
true,
your way.
it explains a lot of things about this country, in my opinion, if it
You know
is
what?
true. Because I don't
I think
think
we
you
should go take it
steal
back.
skulls of a Native American medicine man and not expect to be absolutely cursed for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And the
I
fact that
mean,
some of those people ended up becoming senators, presidents,
yeah,
Congress
they've cursed
people, I'm like, oh,
us.
that explains a lot of things about this country, if
Yeah,
true.
they've
So,
fully cursed us.
hmm
They deserve those curses for sure. And yeah, I think we can. I know that campus. We could go take it
yeah,
back.
yeah. I'll send you more information. There's more on Wikipedia, but I'm sure that there's other sources too about like, no, where they allege to have it, like the case that it was in and everything. Like there were a
Um,
lot of details again, where like if this was all a hoax, they added so many details to it that either makes it fucked up either way that you would do all
yeah.
of this,
Are they like
or that
drinking
like
out of
there's
the
so many
skull type of thing?
maybe, I don't
Yeah.
that I didn't see, but I mean, I don't know these guys, but I wouldn't put it past them if they
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
allegedly. So,
Allegedly.
so anyways,
Interesting.
that's some historical context about Geronimo as we for
Fascinating.
all
I
of
did
you
not know
to
any of
have before
this.
rewatching this episode. Yes,
Yes.
and before seeing the depiction of him that is not at all like what he looked like in real life,
Of course.
obviously, but
Yeah.
yes. Now, back to Scooby-Doo on that
Yes,
note.
yes.
Eventually, but also I should say the offensiveness does not end just with Geronimo. There's another character we'll see soon that
Okay.
yeah, just adds to it. It compiles.
Classic.
So eventually Freddie, Velma, and Daphne are able to catch up with Scooby because like I said, or sorry, catch up with Shaggy because like I
Uh-huh.
said, they were tracking Scooby's
And they saw
device.
Shaggy eat shit.
Yeah, exactly. They were like, "Oh shit, Shaggy, are you
You
okay?"
okay?
He's like laid out
There's
behind
a
this
small
bush, just
fire
like
from the
This is
motorcycle.
the scooter. Yeah.
Yeah.
A wheel is just like going by them, a
Like
lone
next to a
wheel.
tumbleweed.
Yeah. So Shaggy is telling them about this ghost that he just saw, that he allegedly saw, while
Mhm.
Velma and Fred are searching the area a bit for any sign of clues of the ghost and trying to like piece together what Shaggy is saying. So they don't see any hoof prints or anything to prove that a horse was just riding through the area.
Mhm.
But Velma does find what appears to be like a 1,000-year-old tomahawk that's just
Oh,
like laying on the ground by
okay.
where Shaggy crashed out.
Great.
Yeah. So that's cool. But before they can like take a closer look at it, Daphne calls over to them because she's in the van currently, like all, Aruhu on this shit, like contact, like she's got
The
headphones
headphones.
on, like she's looking at the monitors and everything.
Enhance,
And she's like,
enhance.
guys, I gotta track it. Yeah, it's like good for you, Daphne. This might be
Yeah,
like one of the
hell yeah.
earliest episodes of her actually looking like she knows what she's doing. This is
Yeah.
like season one. Yeah, it's like Daphne
Damn.
knows how to use that shit. Like, yeah, she got the headphones on and she
God, I
like
guess
lifts
they
them up, like, hey
eventually
guys.
gave that up. They were like,
I,
no more
well,
tech, no more
she
Daphne
does still
being
fall into some
good.
traps later in the episode. She
Maybe
is still
she's
danger
maybe
prone,
the
but
issue is that like, yeah, on the like, team that is assembled, she needs to just be the tech person in the van.
yeah, she needs
You
a
never
job.
bring the tech person
Yeah,
on the rest of the
that's such a good
mission.
point. Yeah,
They
just
stay
let
at
her handle the stuff
HQ.
from there. Yeah.
Yeah,
And, as they retconned in the Scooby-Doo movies, she knows Kung Fu. She learned how
that's
to
true.
fight. So like
She
she could protect herself in that van if
she's
someone
actually,
were to approach her in it. So yeah, that's a good point. You make a good
yeah.
point. She's not really helpful on the scene of the crime. She
No,
always,
no, not at
yeah.
all. Absolutely not. No.
No. No.
No, keep her in the
Get her
van.
away. Get her away.
Yeah, she can monitor everything from in there quite well.
Yes. And she is doing exactly that here because she tells the gang that Scooby's tracker is still moving and that it appears to be heading towards a place called Indian Gap. So the gang all hops back into the van and they get back to following their good old Great Dane. Unfortunately, speaking of Scooby, things are not going so great for him.
Uh,
He is released from the van and into this secret cavernous hideout in the mountains
okay.
where we see three other dogs in tiny little cages, all crying and whimpering and scared and sad. And then we also see, so before I get to the main villain that we're about to see in a second,
Okay.
Scooby is being walked through this cave by like the valet driver who drove in the van, who's wearing like a full valet suit. Like he's got a cap and like
He's
suit
on the
on and
job.
everything. I think his name is Mike too. Like they drop it, just Mike, they name drop him, but like whatever. Um, and Mike walks Scooby up to our main monster of the day. It's not the ghost of Geronimo.
Okay.
It's a man dressed up in like a witch doctor outfit, I
Oh
think.
no. Okay.
Yeah,
We're getting offensive to different cultures.
I
They're
guess.
spreading out there.
Except he's obvious, like they're obviously trying to imply that he is some sort of like American Indian witch doctor,
Okay.
or I guess maybe like shaman or medicine man, like Geronimo was. But
Okay.
they explicitly call him the witch doctor. Like the character's name is a witch doctor. So I was like, which one are
Pick
we?
it.
What's going
Pick
on?
it.
Just pick a lane. Like medicine
Yeah.
man, the shaman, like a shaman could kind of be like a creepy, like, oh, it's the spooky shaman. The spooky shaman.
Yeah, spooky
That's a Scooby-Doo
shaman.
character right there.
Yeah, then
Boom.
we know.
And we know exactly. But no, they call this guy a witch doctor. He's got on like beige kind of like tunic and pants and a giant mask that's like painted all these colors, and it's
Oh.
got like fur attached to it and stuff.
Seems like they
And
didn't know what
I
angle they
don't
were going
think
for.
so. Yeah, but he's
Definitely not
definitely
great.
inspired by American Indian culture, and
Okay.
he'll say some things later that allude to that. So again, I just say 1969, guys.
Trigger
Sorry about
warning.
it.
It's
It's
like the
just
more you know, rainbow.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Trigger warnings everywhere.
Yeah.
Sorry about it. Still love this show though. It's just that was the
We got to
countryman.
recognize what's going on.
Yep.
Yep.
Anywho, as soon as this witch doctor sees Scooby, he looks at the driver slash dog
Sniper. Oh
napper,
no.
no, the dog sniper, Mike. I think he just calls him like, what the heck is this, Mike? Well, yeah, he's like, this is not Bob Miller's champion Great Dane. How could you
What the
mistake
fuck is
this mutt
this?
for a show? Yeah, Mike, what the fuck?
He takes
What
the
you
mask
doing?
off. Mike,
Yeah.
bro. What
Come on,
the fuck is
Mike. What
this?
you're ruining my vibe. But also it's just funny because again, like given the costume and everything, it's like just so obviously an old white man behind the costume. Like
Yeah.
there's no point in me even trying to like hide. Like I'll still ask you to guess who it is at the end of the episode,
Yeah.
but like
I
it's just
mean,
an old white
we
guy.
saw who kidnapped him.
Yeah.
Like literally brought him to the guy. That's who did it. Yeah.
Yeah. But still, yeah, and like the fact that they name dropped Mike, I was like, damn, sucks to be Mike, I guess. Just like
Yeah.
he's just there. But anyway, yeah, so the witch doctor is pissed that this is not the dog that Mike was supposed to actually dog nap.
Yeah.
But Mike tells him that he found this dog exactly where he said Bob Miller would be. But the witch doctor cuts him off, telling him to get the phony decoy out of there. So Mike is like, what do I do? Like, you want me to just like take him back to the city?
I'm
Like,
a driver. I'm a valet. What am I supposed to do here? I'm just your driver.
I'm not used to this. I don't commit crime,
Yeah.
okay? We want me to
I
do return stolen goods. I'm just driving.
I just am supposed to drive.
It's all I know. Um, so the witch doctor says, you know what, just put him in one of those old hand cars, which are like the rail cars that you can like
I just
push.
let him go.
Yeah, legit. This witch doctor is a fucking asshole. He says, yeah, put
God,
the
just like
dog in
just
a
kill
handcar.
this dog
He says, just like
basically.
push it down the mountain. Just push it down the tracks on the mountain. And by
I
the
don't just
time the
kill it.
car stops, it'll be like 20 miles away and then it'll be out of our hair.
Oh
Yeah,
my
so just
God.
like just put it on the tracks, push him down the mountain, he'll be fine.
Great.
Like, okay, cool. So again, while it's sad and scary to see Scooby like careening down a mountain along like rail tracks and this
Yeah.
hand car like unable to do anything, on the bright side, we do see the gang catching up to him because they're like driving, they're like
Good.
stopping for the tracks as Scooby drives
Scooby.
by. And I don't know if
That's
you
pretty
watched
good.
the show The Umbrella Academy, but it's like
I've seen some
that
of it, yeah.
infamous
Oh yeah, the like
meme of like
slow
Elliot
motion
Page
they
and yeah,
drive
just like
by.
looking at each other. It's like that moment where they're like, oh, like, hey, yeah. So they then follow in the mystery machine, they follow after Scooby. They're able to get him off of this little hand car and save him. And then they're like, all right, Scooby, take us back to where you just came from. Like, show us where this Dognapper is.
Mhm.
So they do make their way back around and up the mountain, back to the hideout where the dogs were being held. Because Scooby, he's like, oh hell yeah, I'm ready now. Those motherfuckers just threw me down a
He
mountain,
tries to kill
basically.
me.
Like, yeah. Like he is ready to hunt. So he points them
Good
up to the
boy.
top of that mountain. And they're like, well, I don't think we can drive up that. So they just hop back into the handcar and they make their way back up on the tracks the
Okay.
same way Scooby just
Also,
came
like the
down.
least subtle way to look at.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think you can hear that echoing through like the
Yeah, through this
emptiness of the
mountain.
desert. Yeah. So while they are trucking their way along these rail tracks, though, an arrow hits the handcar, like perfectly launched and just
Okay.
sticks itself right in front of like where Freddy is standing, pushing this handcar up the tracks.
Hmm.
And the gang looks up and they see the ghost of Geronimo again on horse riding towards them. And at this point, now they all believe Shaggy, like, okay, he's
Yeah.
real. We get it. Or at least we see him. And they jump out of the handcar and hide behind some rocks and bushes near the tracks until the ghost rides away. So
Great.
even though this ghost is like shooting things at people, like he doesn't seem to really want to interfere. Like he always just keeps riding. He never turns
Okay.
back around to look for people. He just keeps going.
Okay.
And once it does go away, they all get back over to the handcar and inspect the arrow. Shaggy's like, see, telling you, he's real. It's a real ghost. That is a real arrow.
Yeah.
But Freddy, he's skeptical because upon further inspection, he notices that this is just some cheap factory made shit. This ain't a real
This-
Native American artifact.
Okay. Okay.
This is from Acme
Classic.
or some shit. Yeah. You know,
Okay. Okay.
the gang then notices the silhouette of what appears to be like an abandoned village in the mountains. So, like, they're looking up from where the arrow came down from, and they're like,
Oh, and I
oh,
see silhouette up there.
exactly.
Okay.
And Freddy is like, well, I know it looks scary, guys, but someone is obviously up there, and probably the missing dogs are up there too, since this is already the direction Scooby was pointing us at.
Yeah.
So they keep hiking their way up to this up the top of this mountain so that they can explore this abandoned village. And so only after like a couple of seconds of getting up, like climbing up this thing, hiking up this
Uh-huh.
mountain, they catch their breath for a second, get a glimpse of their surroundings. Obviously, it's very dark. Only seconds later, they hear like a rattling sound coming from slightly up above them. And the rattling is followed by a deep voice echoing. And it is
Oh.
the witch doctor.
Okay.
He's standing at the top of a nearby building, shaking maracas
What?
and saying what I could say this might be one of the best lines ever written in Scooby-Doo.
Okay.
He tells them while shaking maracas in a witch doctor costume, leave this place, pale-face intruders, or suffer fate of Spanish conquistadores buried in desert below. Remember my warning and go.
First of all, you did not
The
say he was a
pale-faced
poet.
intruders was the best.
Yeah, one, who knew that this man was a poet? Two, Daphne stops and is like, "Excuse me?"
Pale.
Pale, which obviously she's pale as hell, but
Well, that's
she's
true.
like, I will not stand for this.
How rude. Do
We
you
were
know
just
how
on a
hard it
beach.
took? Yeah, exactly. I work hard for this tan, okay?
I will have to fly to the Amalfi Coast and fix this immediately.
Gets on her phone that I guess doesn't even exist yet in
Yeah.
1969. Daddy, bring my helicopter
Bring
now.
my plane, father.
But also, he does literally pronounce Spanish conquistadores like conquistadores. I was like, oh God, this old
Buongiorno.
white man. What's going
Wow,
on?
that single statement has so much going on. We've
A
got
lot to unpack.
this the story is not storying of like, wait, so who's the threat?
Yeah.
The colonizers buried in this desert from like the Spanish American War. Are you saying as like a white man pretending to be native? Are you blaming it on like the native peoples?
Right. Exactly.
What's going on?
Right.
Where's the
Because he
threat
said,
coming from?
right. Is it a native threat? Is it because I guess he says or suffer fate of Spanish conquistadores buried in desert below. So I'm
Oh,
guessing
so
he's
you're
saying
gonna kill him?
we're gonna kill you the way that we killed the Spanish
Oh, I thought he was like,
conquistadors.
they're gonna
So,
rise up and
yeah,
attack you as
right.
ghosts
That's
too.
same. I mean, hey, we've watched
I
enough.
got some notes, witch doctor.
Yeah. Hey. Next time, if you,
Also,
yeah.
I'm imagining too
Hmm.
that they like, heard the rail car squeak, squeak, squeaking up. That witch doctor was like, oh shit, they're coming back up. Okay, I gotta, oh,
Like
I
mask
gotta get
on.
mask back on. He's like, all right, I gotta intimidate them. Hey, Mike, you got the like traditional, you stole some traditional artifacts, right? And Mike's like, what? No,
No. What
no.
artifacts?
There's some maracas from my kid's birthday party this weekend though in the trunk, and he's like, "Fucking Mike, okay, Jesus." Gets the
Damn it,
maracas,
Mike.
and he's just waiting up there for like 45 minutes until they
Like
get
watching
closer.
them from up there come slowly
Yeah,
hiking up. He's like, I don't see them. How long does it take to hike up a mountain?
yeah. And then he's like, every now and then he just looks at the maracas and he's like, "I'm gonna fire Mike."
Damn it, Mike. God damn it,
God,
Mike.
fucking Mike.
Uh, so, anyways, after he gives them this warning with his low maracas shaking, he then backs away and vanishes into the darkness. Very
This man,
theatrical. It's very funny. The gang, meanwhile, is like, that was
what?
fucking weird.
He was rude as
Okay.
hell.
What the fuck was that? It's it's just hilarious because the witch doctor is trying to
Pale
be so
faced intruders.
scary. Pale face intruders. Yeah, first of all, like, yeah, I feel like we didn't quite heart like we didn't talk about that enough. The fact
It's
that he
such a
just
good
called them
line.
pale face intruders. Also,
Also, really, I'm sure the
like the
what is it?
writers were
Pot calling the
cooking.
kettle black here. Take that mask off. I don't see
Uh-huh.
that mask.
Let's see who's paler.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Let's check that out here. I got some suspicions.
Um, but it's just funny because he's trying to be so funny, or he's trying to be so scary. Like,
Uh-huh.
remember my warning, leave this place, never come back. And the gang's just like, okay, yeah, let's go get that guy. Like, no. This,
Great. So they're
that
like
guy
little
is
kid
guilty as
maracas.
fuck.
They're like,
The dogs are absolutely in there and he has them.
yeah, Scooby
Like,
is bringing us back.
so they traverse through this village to find their way into that building. And they do come across a couple more clues that make them even more skeptical of this whole witch doctor and the witch doctor
Yeah.
bit. For example, they find like a freshly lit fire, something that does not look 1,000 years old, like as old as this witch doctor claims or purports to be.
Uh-huh.
And they also see another building filled with all types of like food, including canned sardines and ham and pudding and
They put it in
salami.
their bag.
And yeah, Shaggy's like eating it, and he's like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, and also like dozens and dozens of cans of dog food, by the way, too.
Oh,
So Shaggy's
subtle.
like, on the one hand, I now know that this is obviously where the dogs are being held. And on the other hand,
Yeah.
this is not what American Indians were eating 1,000 years ago, canned
Yeah.
sardines and salami
I
and
don't think
pudding.
so.
I don't think this guy is real. So, or that this witch doctor is real.
Mhm.
So, of course, at one point, during all of this, while they're going through this village, Daphne, like I warned you earlier, she does fall into a booby
Oh, yep,
trap
yep, yep.
that sends her actually directly into the room where the dogs are crated and are still whimpering and kind of crying from
Mm.
fear. And later Scooby is able to find her down there. And it's funny, he gets down there and Daphne's like, Scooby, thank God you found me. Help get me out real quick. And Scooby's like, well, what about the dogs? Are we going to help them? And Daphne's like, oh, oh, yeah, we'll get them. Just hurry up. Get me out first. It's like she forgot about them for a second.
Daphne, that's why you're here.
Daphne, remember? Don't you hear the crying dogs? Like you can see them. You're in the same room as them. She's like, oh
Daphne's like,
yeah, we'll get them. Just like untie me first.
but like
Just get me
also I'm
out.
gonna
Hurry up.
oh, but also like my grandpapa also breeds dogs and is in this next upcoming
He's
show.
in
So
danger.
we'll
Exactly.
get these
I
dogs
must
later
warn him.
after the show,
Yeah,
after
well,
he gets
we'll get
blue
these ones
ribbon.
later. Exactly. Because once he does, I get some of that money for myself
Yeah,
too. It
exactly.
gets passed down to me. So no, they let all these dogs free. And the dogs all do a bit of like a little talking, with Scooby asking them where they can
Cute.
find the witch doctor. Yeah, they have a quick little briefing. And then basically we're coming to the end here where the episode ends with all these dogs, like I guess it's four of them, including Scooby.
Uh-huh.
They're just like and then also the four members of Mystery Inc. All of them are just like stampeding the witch doctor because Freddy's like, follow the dogs, guys. So you got like four dogs like
Who
running
let
full
the
speed and
dogs
like
out?
four humans. Yeah. Daphne, I guess, or
Daphne
Scooby.
did.
Yeah. And so they are just stampeding the witch doctor, chasing him down through this abandoned village, and they corner
Beautiful.
him until he's forced to try to climb up a pole to safety. But
Good
as the witch
boys.
doctor is struggling to climb this pole, his mask falls off, revealing himself to be Grace. I'll let you
Buck.
try to guess who.
I'm gonna assume Buck.
Yeah, because
Yep.
that's the only person we've met
It's
besides
not
Mike.
Bill. It's not
Good old,
Mike.
but it's not Bill.
It's not
It's good
Charlie. He
old
couldn't get out there.
Buckmaster. Yeah, his scooter was stolen and
His scooter
totaled.
was stolen. He actually was supposed to bring like the scary like chains for the ghost. He was supposed to bring all the
Like
other
legitimate
supplies.
like arrows. He's like, no, I actually
Yeah.
know where to get actual artifacts and stuff. Or like he's
Yeah.
been making them himself for years. Yeah.
Yeah. He was supposed to bring it all and he couldn't get there.
He couldn't. Sorry, his scooter's
So
totaled. Yeah. But yes, it is indeed Buck Masters, the owner of the first dog, who has been dressed up as this witch doctor.
Mhm.
So the gang calls the police, thank goodness, at this point, and an officer arrives pretty quickly to make the arrest.
Yep.
And this is where they explain the plot to him. As it would turn out, Buck Masters is kind of fucking crazy because my thought was, oh wow, okay, so his dog probably wasn't actually kidnapped. He just like pretended it was and hid the dog so that people
Uh-huh.
would believe he was.
Yeah.
No, it turns out he actually fucking dog. I keep saying kidnapped because they're like our children.
Yeah, they
I
are
just
our
can't separate them.
babies.
But no, turns out Buck Masters actually had his dog napped and like locked in a cage
What? Get
because
that
he
dog away from this
decided
man.
he's crazy. Yeah, lock this man away, throw away the key, put him under the. Never mind. Anyways, so he decided that the only way to win this upcoming dog competition, this dog show, was by dog napping the only three dogs that could or would have beaten him and his dog, Big Red. Then, once
Okay.
those three dogs were kidnapped, Big Red would be released and would just happen to turn up just before the big show and then would be able to swoop in, have a great performance, and win first place.
Why?
That was his plan.
Why dog nap your dog though?
Exactly. That's what I said. I was like, oh yeah, just hide your dog and pretend that it's been dog napped. I mean, I guess I don't know,
Or
maybe
don't
you have to
even.
like file a police report and stuff. But again, just like hide them. You don't have to actually like dog nap your dog and put it in like a
But also, wouldn't it immediately would point to you if only your dog is the one that's
exactly
released?
the
Then
one
that means the
exactly.
kidnappers are
And
working
then
with you.
you
Just don't get
win
your
too.
dog napped to begin with, or dog
Right.
napped. Your dog,
Exactly.
you protected your dog so much better than everyone else did. The dog nappers never got them.
Exactly.
Man,
Yeah, that's what I'm
the
saying.
fuck, Buck.
Buckmaster sucks.
Yeah.
He's lame for so many reasons.
Damn, this guy
Yeah.
needs more friends than just Mike and Charlie. They're
I
not
don't even
his
think
friends,
Mike
they
is
just
his
work for
friend.
him.
They're just
Yeah.
his employees. Yeah.
He's just his employee. He needs to socialize some more, I think.
But you're probably also wondering, well, what about the ghost of Geronimo?
I am wondering that, yes.
Okay. So, yes, apparently Buck, being even more of an asshole than we thought he was before, he was using a movie projector from the back of his truck to make this projection appear to be chasing down anyone
What?
driving nearby, apparently in an attempt to keep them away from this hideout because they would think that some crazy ghost is haunting the prairie nearby. So they would just either speed
What
through or
about the
wouldn't even approach
arrows?
it.
Was he
I'm
shooting
guessing
those
he
from
did
his
actually
car?
shoot them. No, I think he actually did shoot them from like the top of the mountain or
Oh,
something
right, it was
from
up
that
top. It
village.
wasn't
Yeah,
like
I think he
coming
did
from the
do that.
ghost.
And
Okay.
yeah, so I guess he oh well, and that makes sense that he has a good shot because remember he has like hunting trophies in his office and
Oh, yeah,
stuff too.
yeah. Okay.
He's got like a bolo tie and all that shit. So he knows how
The
to shoot an
Western
arrow.
man's. Okay.
Exactly. He's a Western man of the land. He loves appropriating that culture.
He loves
And he just came
appropriation.
up with the worst plan ever to
Wow.
dog nap some dogs and try to win a dog show competition. So,
Damn.
word of the wise to those competing in the National Dog Show on
On
Thanksgiving Day:
Thanksgiving. Watch out.
don't steal anyone else. Don't steal your competition's dogs. Don't.
Don't do
And I know
it.
Grace, you did a story about a was it the Greyhound in Ireland or something like that that was stolen one time
I
when you
think
talked about a
I
dog
think I
show.
did last year. I
This stuff
talked about the
happens.
poisoning that happened.
That's what it was, poisoning.
Yeah. Poisoning that happened.
Of various dogs.
Alleged potential poisoning that happened, I think, in England. Yeah.
England. Okay. Yeah. Of various show dogs, if you will, or
it's wild out there
dogs.
though. But there, I think I did mention though that there were like, I think it might have been like Doberman puppies that were stolen. That were like of like from a breeder that always bred show dogs or something like that. Yeah. Definitely dog nappings do happen.
It absolutely does, especially for ones that perform at that level. Yes. The purebreds and the show dogs, because they can win a lot of money. And then and the people who own them have a lot of money. So if you ransom them, then you can get a lot of money for ransoming them.
Wow.
So
crazy.
Anyways, that's the end.
This was wild. This really took a lot of unexpected turns that I did not see coming. I thought it was going to be a simple, clean-cut dog napping, but
so did I. It was not.
It sure as hell wasn't. Simple. Not when Buck was involved.
No, it wasn't simple. He made it way more difficult than it had to be, and it was not clean cut. He made it very dirty and messy.
What if when they had masked him, he had been like, I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you pale-faced intruders and your dog too.
Oh man, missed opportunity. Kim really Spears and Joe Ruby rise from the grave and rewrite it. Oh man, that would have been so perfect. I shit you not, Grace, when he said pale-faced intruders, I had to hit pause. I took off my glasses and I just like sat here and wept from crying for a second. Just like,
it's too good.
Pale-faced intruders. Yep. So for all of the uncomfortable American Indian, for all of the uncomfortable American Indian references they make, I felt like that one line kind of like atoned. At the same time, I was like, oh, they're making fun of everybody. It's okay.
Perfect. It's fine. Great. Yeah. We told ourselves.
Good. Yeah.
Wow. Great job. What a fun, wild episode. What
Indeed. A hoot. Thank you. Hooting and hollering. So, yes, that is my second or fall? I think it is. Yeah, my second fall episode. Grace will be back with another one, her last one next week.
Yes.
And until then, who, Grace, should the listeners and viewers tell about this show?
I think you should tell your palest friend.
Damn it.
That's what you're going to do.
Yeah,
your palest
mine is slightly
friend.
Different. Yeah.
Let them know about this show. I'm sure they'll get a chuckle out of that comment.
They're gonna love that.
Yes.
Once I get to this episode.
Yes. Who else should our listeners and viewers tell about our show?
Don't tell a pale friend, but tell a pale intruder. So someone who you don't want around. If you're getting robbed, or if you just don't want to be in the presence of someone who's really pale, they're intruding on your personal space or on your mental space, or if you are literally being robbed while they're like taking your bag, be like, hey, by the way, listen to Saturday Morning Mysteries, you pale-faced intruder, and then push them away and then run for safety.
Good. Yeah. Amazing.
Cool.
Great. Love it.
Perfect. Until next time.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Saturday Morning Mysteries.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share, rate, review, leave us a like, and drop a comment. We post episodes every Saturday and bonus tune tangents whenever we feel like it. So please subscribe so you don't miss the shenanigans.
And if you want to follow us on YouTube, click the bell under the YouTube subscribe button to receive notifications when new videos are posted.
And if you want to subscribe to the podcast, we have no idea what you're listening to us on, so just hit the big subscribe button on whatever app you're using. We believe in you.
Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at SatmornMist, all the abreves, and let us know if you have any episode or show requests by emailing SaturdayMorningMysteries@gmail.com.
Thanks to Jenna Kendall for the logo design and to Ava Sakiki for the music used during this week's episode.
See y'all groovy kids next week on Saturday Morning Mysteries.